Good morning, West Coast, and good afternoon here on the East Coast. I am in Atlantic City, and so I just wanted to say that I am completely thrown off. Red-eye flight, and then a bus trip, and then a Lyft ride, and my non-usual coffee. Usually I have my mushroom coffee at home. God bless Uber Eats. They were able to get me my coffee today. So Poe and I are here, and he wanted me to show off. See, he has this fun new accessory, and I actually have a matching one. We picked it up in California last week. He needed a little something to have with him when he wasn't wearing one of his outfits. So we are here. We will be heading to Rage, the Readers and Authors Gather event put on by AAP and Pink Ribbon Publishing. This is my last travel event of the year, so even though I am in my hotel room, it is a little bit chilly. That's why you can see the jacket today. And still representing for the Davenports and Miss S. Jackson Rivera. I've got books and booze all over me today. And people were asking about it, so I let them know about 2027. We are going to be setting up tonight and welcoming people tomorrow at Rage. I do have copies. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get them in time, but I do have copies of all three of the Sin books for the people that asked. Yes, Envy is here with me. It did come in early, so thank you, Amazon, for actually exceeding expectations on that one and getting them here. Also, you guys know Poe. He has his collection coming out at the end of the month. We'll be getting the website updated and the store going and officially hitting publish because he's a spooky bird and he loves spooky season. We're doing it on Halloween. However, I wanted to show off. I know it's hard to see with that light. It says I'm not a bookworm, I'm a book dragon, and he's very cool. I have 4 of these that I was able to get done and bring with me. These will be available on Poe's collection, so let's give you guys a little sneak peek. And then they have little butterflies hanging off the top. So these will be available on Poe's collection along with a number of other things. And for those that asked, yes, he does have his little suitcase with all of its fun little accessories inside. He is a well-traveled and well-packed bird. So I did want to make sure that we did mention that, did let you guys know that not only is the website being updated and the store coming, but Post collection, we do have one of the items here, and then I have the event exclusive. If for some reason the coasters don't sell here because they are applicable to Las Vegas, they will be available one more time, and that will be at the Las Vegas Book Festival in 2 weeks from tomorrow. So, since I'm here, I wanted to look up a couple of fun things about Atlantic City. And one thing I did find out is the boardwalk, which I will be out on later. Me and Poe will be out there taking pictures and videos, and so I'm sure I'll be photobombing people and photo dumping all over you guys later. But it is actually the first boardwalk that was built, and then so all the ones that have been built since then were inspired by this one. Also, Lucy the elephant, which I'm determined to go hunt down and find because it sounds very cool. And I do believe that one of my lovely heroes, Harlan Coben, actually included Lucy the elephant in one of his books. That is older than the Eiffel Tower, and the big organ on the boardwalk is the largest organ in the world. I think it's the largest musical instrument in the world. I'll have to double check that one. So I'm excited to go and check these things out. I always love finding new and unique things to go and see. And of course, Poe doing his bird modeling, he has to be all over everything. But I did find that out. I also thought it was really interesting, and I guess it makes sense if you've ever played for, 14 hours of your life Monopoly. If you look at a lot of the spots that are on the board, on the actual board game, they are inspired by places here in Atlantic City. So, Boardwalk and Park Place, and a lot of those places that, you know, you're always trying to snatch up before your friends, those are actually inspired by real locations here in Atlantic City. So I thought that was pretty cool. The first casino here, and you know, I had to check that out because being a Vegas girl myself and a casino dealer, the first casino here was not built until 1978. So it's not too much different than me. But it is, I guess, the Vegas of the East. So I will be exploring a little bit later, just, you know, to bring a little bit of home here and maybe see if there's something here that I can take back home with me. And then the last one is, this is the birthplace of saltwater taffy, which I guess makes sense. I mean, right on the ocean. I have never had saltwater taffy, so I'm going to try it for the first time later tonight. And depending on how that goes, maybe bring some home, or even include it in a raffle basket. But it is something that I'm looking forward to trying, especially since I found out that it is from here. So I thought that was pretty cool. I've been also, I don't know if you guys saw the videos that I did recently for National Coffee Day, and after the red eye, I'm gonna ingest again. But I was having fun looking up some of the different days, the different national days. And I do have one fun one. It kind of works out perfectly. Next Saturday on the 11th, I will be taking a little motorcycle road trip. And it is actually National Ride Motorcycle Day. So how perfect is that? And later this month, there is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. Of course, I will definitely be celebrating that. And there's National Cake Decorating Day. There's, of course, Halloween. There's National Chocolate Day. There are a number of things going on. Today happens to be both National Boyfriend Day, which I know you guys know I cannot celebrate anymore, but that's okay. It's also National Techie Day. I am old school. I don't use a lot of tech, at least not voluntarily, but I am right now, actually. I normally travel with this huge ring light and these little remotes and all these things that drive me crazy. You can't see it, but I will see if I can take a picture, put it up later. I have this little tiny extendable tripod now that travels with me and a little clip-on light, and that is what I'm using for this. So I'm trying it out. I'm having fun with it. So far, this is going pretty well. So that is, I guess, my version of being a techie today. I also, if you guys saw there's a picture, I don't know if I posted it actually, I'll have to put it up. But a friend of mine, I know there's a lot of pushback against AI. This wasn't for anything writing related. A friend of mine was just messing around with ChatGPT, and he made one of those trending pictures of Ghostface, and Ghostface is stalking me. And it's a little blurry, and it's definitely AI, but we all decided that the funniest thing about it, and the definite giveaway, the dead giveaway that it is AI, is the fact that in the picture, I am playing a video game. I don't think I've actually played much since the Wii, and before that, I think it was like Tetris Attack on the Super Nintendo. I'm not a gamer. I hang out with people while they game, but I'm not a gamer myself, so that was kind of a dead giveaway. But I am having fun playing with the techie stuff, and since it is National Techie Day, and that's kind of my version, I'll throw that picture up a little bit later. But I do like to celebrate, so I had to do something, and I got to play with my new stand and my new light, so my simple version of tech. October does have a lot of fun, cool national days. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I know most people know about it because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and not taking anything away from that, my personal connection is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Anybody that's ever met me or seen the videos from last year, you guys know that I wrote a series of books all about different aspects of PTSD. I rode across Route 66 on my bicycle, raising money for charities connected to that series. And whenever I'm out at events, I have the whole series, and anything written under that pen name, under my Renee Jean pen name, I use those books to raise money for the Purple Leash Foundation from Purina. Well, in October, because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Purina matches donations. I am honored to say that while they're not huge sellers, and understandably so, they're very niche, but we did raise $387 through the sales this year on those books in the last 12 months. So I am going to bump that up to $500 with my own personal donation. We're going to donate that, and when Purina matches, that'll be a $1,000 donation going to the Purple Leash Foundation. So thank you guys so much for being a part of that, for helping support it. There are some people that didn't even buy the books, they just wanted to donate because of Purple Leash and what they do. They retrofit domestic violence shelters so that victims are able to escape with their animals. And that means the absolute world. That is something that means everything to me. So for everybody that supports them, whether it's with me or just in general, or that has come out and supported the series, it means everything. I know it doesn't sound like a crazy amount of money, but honestly, anything helps. So thank you again. Another thing about it being October is it's Thriller. And yes, Mom, I see you. It is absolutely great, and I'm very excited to be able to make that donation. So we will be putting that up as well. With it being October, being Thriller season, I'm gonna go back and talk about something a little bit more fun with Poe. It's spooky season, and being a thriller writer, this is my time. This is when I get to have some fun. So one of the things that I love the adrenaline. I talked about Harlan Coben a minute ago, and he's known for twists. He's known for, throwing in some big twist either near the end or just before the climax. I love twists. I love twists and turns, and I love that kind of like looking over your shoulder moment when you're reading, or that kind of creepy feeling up your spine about kind of getting it in that idea in your head, and kind of, I don't know, thinking that, especially he's one that writes real world like me. He doesn't write in a lot of fantasy worlds. Those are great too. They're not my style. But when you're going around the corner and there's that little part of you that like does a quick look real quick because the book has gotten to you, the story's gotten to you, and you're thinking, oh man, I kind of know somebody like that character. I absolutely love that. It's one of the reasons that I wanted to write thrillers. It's one of the reasons that I read them all the time. And those have always been things that have drawn me to it. But I've realized recently, I've read a book called Final Girl Support Group, and a wonderful author friend of mine, Terry Hooker, she writes in the Fight of the Final Girl anthology. I love, whether it's a hero or a heroine, that perseverance, that fight, that persistence that they have, where they just keep fighting, they just keep pushing. And we all have that. We all have those struggles, not necessarily life or death, but I'm training, I haven't mentioned what it was, my new physical challenge, in honor of my good friend Jimmy, who I met when he was training for his first 10K, and he has now, I think, run like every single major marathon around the world. I don't like running. I hate running. He knows this. But in his honor, I will be taking on the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in February in Las Vegas. So I'm training for that right now. And then I will probably never ever run again unless I am caught in a real thriller situation with somebody chasing me with something sharp. However, the music that I've been listening to and reading the books that I read, I've been thinking about the music and that persistence and all the different fighting back. And, if you watch the 31 Days of Halloween, all the spooky horror movies, I mean, how many times has Jamie Lee Curtis fought against Michael Myers in the Halloween movies, which I admit, and don't judge. I've never seen them. And I've only seen like one of the Jason Voorhees movies. I've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I love horror movies, I do, but I've only seen like the same 24 or so repeatedly. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one that I absolutely love, and I have seen every single version of it. But going back to the music, I love the songs that come on when everybody is fighting back. It's now or never. And going back to my own fight with what October means, my battle with domestic violence, my personal story, I was making a list of some songs. Fight Song is a very special one to me, Rachel Platten's Fight Song. That one, I've danced to it, I've performed to it, I've cried to it. That one means a lot to me because it is all about continuing on, and the song itself is actually about continuing to fight for her career. And again, it's not just fighting life or death, but having that perseverance, having that fight inside of you. Can't Hold Us, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis is another really good one. I'm Still Standing is a fun one by Elton John. Eye of the Tiger, everybody knows that one. I've never seen Rocky, again, don't judge, but I have it on pretty much every playlist when it comes to working out, when it comes to training, when it comes to any of my thrillers where people are fighting back and they've got to like find that deep burning fire within. That's on the playlist. Stronger by Kelly Clarkson is another good one. Fighter by Christina Aguilera. Again, I've performed to that one and it has a special place in my heart. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is another really, really good one. All about how, you can be talented, you can be lucky, but you've got to put in the work. You've got to keep fighting. You've got to keep pushing. And that one was on the playlist when I rode across country. And I listened to that at least once a day. And then a couple that it's not necessarily the theme of the song, but the song Over You by Daughtry. I know I've mentioned Daughtry every single week, but the power, the intensity of that song is great. And I've been listening to it a lot because it keeps pushing me when I'm running. Because again, like I said, I hate running, but it pushes me to keep going. And then Popular Monster, Falling in Reverse is another really good one that I actually stumbled on accident during my bike ride. So there have been a number of songs that have been kind of inspiring me, and since I'm working on like 4 different things right now, I've talked to a lot of people about the first book in the Reverse Harem trilogy. It is coming because I have had some interest. I'm currently working on Lust, which is book 4. That'll be coming out in the spring. And Yearbook, which is a song that I know everybody thinks I'm weird. It was inspired by a Hanson song, and I promise not MMMBop, but that is a standalone that I've had interest in, so I'm getting that one done. And then For You Mom, the first Voices book is also in the works. She is very excited about my Voices in Her Head series. There's 4 of those. So those will also start rolling out soon. But I have an order that I'm working on, but this music, this high intensity, fight back, fight for your life, keep it going. I am immersed in that world right now, and this has been like the coolest time of year to have that, because you've got the ghosts and the goblins and all the creepy stuff. And of course I had a friend that used to refer to the shows that I would watch, like Evil Lives Here and Signs of a Psychopath and stuff on Investigation Discovery, as murder porn, which I guess in some respect it kind of is, but it's a great, not necessarily inspiration. I like seeing how people get caught, because I like being able to use that as a twist in the books. So thank you guys again. I will be posting when we make that donation. And for my winners, your books went out, so you should be getting those hopefully soon for the NB. And if you guys are in Atlantic City, hopefully I will see you tomorrow. If you're in the greater Las Vegas area, pretty much any time once I get home on Monday, all the way through the end of the year, I have events all over the place, so I will see you out and about. Poe and I are getting ready to head down to the boardwalk and go find that saltwater taffy and explore. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything you want me to try to find, let me know. Me and my Lyft driver are about to become very good friends. If not, I will see you guys next week. Until then, stay caffeinated.